Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric, and when you think of cloned roller coasters, it's very likely that one of the first that comes to mind is Batman the Ride. There are many of these in Six Flags parks, and clones of the ride under different names in Six Flags parks and other chains. The fact that it's a clone makes some people think the ride is worse than it actually is. So I think I'm going to talk about why these rides are underrated, and why the fact that they are cloned does not take away from the ride experience. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel for new coaster content. I will be making quite a bit more, and this is going to be one of my weirdest videos. I do not normally talk about one specific roller coaster in a video like this, and also the fact that this will be a bit more informal than normal because it's really just me talking about Batman the Ride. But let's start off by getting the basics down. Batman the Ride, it's a B&M invert, and there are identical clones of the track layout in parks such as Six Flags Great America, Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Six Flags Great Adventure, Six Flags Over Georgia, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, and SeaWorld San Antonio. That last one's interesting. The exact same ride is found in the same city under a different name as the Goliath at Fiesta Texas. We're going to mainly focus on Batman the Rides here, and my key point that I'm going to make when it comes to explaining why it is okay that these rides are cloned is that just because they have the same layout does not mean they are the same ride. I have been on 4 Batman the Rides, and they all give drastically different ride experiences. One of the key things is that Magic Mountains was the smoothest by far for me. Great Adventures was the most intense. Over Georgia's was probably the best paced in my opinion, and I think Over Texas was honestly a bit rough compared to the others. They all gave drastically different ride experiences, and do not all rank as like the same spot or one spot in my top 50. Some made the top 50, some did not. There's a big gap in how much I like them. It's all about the rider. Different ride experiences all the time happen on very similar roller coasters. For example, one person can ride Gemini once and then they'll say, yeah, this is so good. And the next time they'll say, yeah, it's a bit bumpy. Magnum is a great example, where you can get the exact same ride, exact same seat, and it'll feel different. So the fact that they basically have the same roller coaster in terms of layout does not mean it's the same in terms of experience. And I think the fact that they have a B&M invert in so many of their parks is really good. Even if they aren't quite Montu or Afterburn, they are really good rides. So my key takeaway here is that Batman the Ride clones are good rides. And one thing I kind of want to point out is the fact that people bash Six Flags for its cloned roller coasters and Batman the Ride, but they seem to give a pass to rides that are literally the same experience, such as a dark ride if it's cloned. Rise of the Resistance, for example, there are 2 of that, when it's the exact same ride. I guess you could call that Attack of the Clones. But the key reason is that more money goes into that kind of ride. I understand that, but it is the same ride experience, and I feel like it's not really deserving of being given a pass compared to Batman the Rides. Batman the Rides are good, and depending on who you are, you may like that more than something like Rise of the Resistance. I can totally understand that. And Batman the Rides are just fun, and they are all different, and I think the fact that clone does not necessarily mean identical in terms of a roller coaster, whereas a clone dark ride is literally the same ride experience. I think that just speaks to how clone roller coasters should not be bashed as much as they are. Six Flags has other clone roller coasters that are better or worse. I like Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast a lot. There are 2 of that, and they seem to be the same layout, but they don't offer the exact same ride experience, and both are really good. And the fact that Batman the Ride has like 7 different roller coasters in one chain that are the same layout, I just feel like if you have 7 of the same good invert, clearly the only reason they're cloning is because people like this, people agree that it's good. Six Flags didn't just decide, let's slap a B&M invert in a bunch of parks, because you just don't decide, hey, let's put a B&M invert in. B&M inverts are not cheap rides to make, and they are good rides. So my main takeaway here is that Batman the Ride is a good ride, and it differs from place to place. So Six Flags isn't just duplicating the exact same ride because it's lazy. It's doing it because people like it, enjoy it, and get different experiences every time. That's just how it works on this kind of roller coaster. And I honestly, if Six Flags makes a banger ride that isn't too difficult to clone, I encourage them to do it. I obviously know they're not going to be cloning El Toro or, Twisted Colossus or rides like that, but a B&M invert or a 4D free spin or even a Premier Rides launch coaster, I can totally get behind that. I actually would support that overall. Even though I like a new original layout, I think having the same kind of layout with a different experience, there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was really weird compared to my usual stuff. I just kind of wanted to talk about the fact that people all around the coaster community, even big names like Taylor Bybee at Coaster Studios, they bash Six Flags for cloning its roller coasters, but I do not think it should be bashed for that. And I just wanted to bring awareness to this issue. And I hope next time you consider bashing a coaster because it is a duplicate, keep in mind that it is not the exact same ride. You are free to think that clone coasters are bad and you're free to disagree, but I personally think they deserve a lot more credit, and cloning a roller coaster does not take away from how good the ride is. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, I'll see you next time.